Here's an important conversation, and a conversation I know that affects me, and I'm sure a lot of other viewers out there, and parents. So, not so long ago, parents took a bold step and sent their young children to various preschools. But with creche fees having been on the increase, parents are left with no choice but to dig deep, and let me add the word very deep, into their pockets lately. This sparked a concern amongst parents and guardians of these toddlers, and regulation of creches is now under the spotlight. Natalie Webster is from the Preschool Association of South Africa, and she's joining us in studio to talk about the regulation of these creches. Natalie, thanks so much for coming, and it's good to have you in studio.
Thank you, it's a pleasure.
Who actually regulates these places that we take our kids to when most of us are off at work, like I am right now?
Well, it actually falls under the scope of the Department of Social Development. They're the government department that regulates preschools. Most preschools should be registered with them. There are a lot of great functioning preschools that aren't, but that's who you should be applying to if you want to open a preschool, a daycare, any early childhood development centre.
Okay, so most preschools and creches that we look around in the country, are they regulated or not at all?
I would say most of them not. There's a lot that have mushroomed up over the last couple of years. So I think they're opening up and starting off and are not getting the right registration processes in place. But there are a lot that are. So it's, I would say, some are, some aren't.
Are they, is it compulsory to be regulated? Surely it should be.
I think it is compulsory from the department side. I obviously can't speak for them, but yes. I think it's wise to do that, to know that you're trying to maintain a set standard. They obviously have guidelines that you need to adhere to and follow in order to run the creche or the preschool. But yes, I think it should be a compulsory thing.
Yeah. Let's talk about fees at creches now as well, because I think that really is something that we all need to talk about. And
yes.
I mean, I know because I paid for my little one, who's 3 years old. She goes to a preschool now. And I paid, and I was hoping, I thought to myself, I wonder, did she come up with a PhD after this? But no, just a couple of doodles on a paper. But that's not necessarily what it's all about. I know there's a lot more that goes into it. But who determines the prices?
Well, they're not regulated. The preschool owners or the corporates that own the preschools regulate the fees or determine their own fees, and they are based on a number of factors such as the income earning of the areas, obviously the staff and the overheads that a school has to accommodate, food, equipment, daily running of the school. So they should be determined on the overall costs of running a school. Staff is an expensive. That's one of your main expenses. You need to have staff that are decent, and you're going to pay for that qualified, experienced staff as well.
Some creches or preschools as well, I mean, some offer food.
Yes.
And obviously that
goes up and down every month. I mean, some schools offer five meals a day. Electricity and water, those kind of things have to come into play. Equipment, toys, keeping their facility clean, first aid courses. So there's a lot that goes into running a preschool. But so the fees should be set on the overall costs, and you shouldn't be inflating them for no reason. You should do a cost of, income and expenses and what your fees should be set at, so the parents in that area can afford them.
Yeah, but in reality, are you finding, and because parents are coming forward and they are talking about it, are you finding that there are more complaints, that these preschools are perhaps getting a little bit too pricey and charging a bit too much?
There are schools that do charge, that do have high fees, and sometimes you can't actually try and validate why those fees are so high. So yes, we do get concerns from parents.
Yeah. Which is a great concern, because some parents are in a position where you have to take your child to a preschool.
Exactly.
You can't leave them at home. You are working, and you need to do that, and you obviously need to be able to drop them off in a safe environment, which is very, very important.
Yeah.
Are there processes that are happening to see that preschools perhaps do get regulated in terms of what they charge?
Well, from our side, as an organisation, we're a private organisation, and we're trying to basically do what the Department of Social Development is doing, but on a private side. and we are trying to encourage preschools to join us. We have a minimum standard which is in accordance with the department, but our standards are also set a little bit higher so that schools can join us. We can assist them in recommending what their fees should be. We can assist them in running a top-class facility in terms of making sure the kids are taken care of, because at the end of the day, that's what this is all about.
Yeah.
Making sure the kids have a foundation for life, a lifelong learning, not just learning the ABCs and counting to 3 or whatever the case may be. These schools need to be running a facility that these kids are educated and taken care of. And that money that you're paying towards the fees needs to go into that.
Yeah, which is obvious. So is there a curriculum that is standard for a preschool?
There isn't a standard curriculum. When you apply with us or the department, you submit a curriculum that you'd like to use in your school. There are a number of companies that set curriculums. A lot are in accordance with the CAPS system that's being used at the primary and high schools. So there's no set curriculum, but we do have companies we can refer to. So you can buy a set curriculum for each specific age group so that you know that they're reaching their developmental milestones and all the goals they have to achieve for that age group.
Yeah.
So there's no set curriculum.
Okay, so there isn't a set curriculum.
Yeah.
I'm just receiving a tweet here. Somebody, I'm not too sure. Gosh, I really don't know who it is. There's just a whole bunch of numbers here. But they're saying that in their area, 2,800 Rand a month is apparently affordable in the surrounding areas. I think they stay in Irene. This is what I've gathered from this tweet.
Yes.
2,800 Rand a month, does that sound reasonable?
It does sound reasonable.
So that's about a reasonable price.
I think that's reasonable. I work in the Four Ways area, and our fees are about that.
Yeah.
So it is reasonable, and that's usually for a full day, and it should include meals.
Yeah.
And then all the activities, like whatever you're going to offer. So dance programs, ball skills, whatever extramural activities you want to offer. So
that should be inclusive.
I believe it should. My opinion, I think it should be, because you should be giving the kids what they need.
Yeah.
It shouldn't be a mural that if you can't afford, they don't benefit. They should benefit from that as a standard. It shouldn't just be, well, I can't afford it this month, so your little one is not going to participate.
Yeah, but I can imagine, somebody watching maybe somebody watching in Sandhurst saying 2,800, great,
wow.
That's fine, I can do that. But somebody who's in Alex
exactly.
hearing 2,800 Rand a month for
it's just not affordable.
My 3-year-old to go to a preschool, it doesn't make sense. The area.
It has to be specific to the area. So when a preschool joins us, we obviously look at the area they're in, we look at their running costs, and we give a recommendation to them and say, this is what we think your fees should be at. Obviously, if they follow it or not, it's, as you say, it's not regulated, and that's the route we want to try and go. So for specific areas or the needs of the business, these are the fees that we would recommend to them. Yeah.
In terms of parents that incur problems at preschools and they would like to report it to somebody, or they would like to perhaps get in touch with you or the department, what do they do?
Well, we do get a lot of complaints or inquiries through our website. They are welcome to get in touch with us. We do refer a lot of complaints that the schools are not registered with us. We do refer it to the Department of Social Development for them to have a look at.
Okay.
If the schools are registered with us, we want to be the mediator to try and sort issues out before they get out of control, to try and help the parents and the schools. We're not here to close anybody down. We're not here to make their lives difficult. We want to help the schools grow and offer the best that they can, and we want to help parents find the best school for their children, because not every child fits into a mold. Some schools will benefit specific kids.
Yeah.
So we want to help both sides, and we are open to assisting anybody that has a complaint or a query or a concern at a school.
Yeah. Well, let's give a detail on what are your details? Have you got a website?
Our website is Preschool Association SA.
Preschool Association SA. Okay.
Do you want an email address?
Is it .co.za?
Yes, .co.za.
.co.za. I'm sure that's fine.
Okay.
People can go there and visit.
We are on Facebook and Twitter
as
well.
And you're on Facebook and Twitter as well. Twitter?
That's Preschools SA.
Preschools SA.
Yeah.
Another one, Mabuse Hlale, saying we're paying over 3,000 Rand for half day, but just schooling, and that excludes extra activities.
Yeah, so there again, it is dependent on the school, and I don't know what area that's in.
Indeed.
But
so regulation is something that needs
needed,
to be looked at.
or just a guideline at least, so that the schools also know maybe, okay, I'm overcharging, or I'm running at a loss. I need to just, adjust it slightly.
Thank you for talking to us here
It's
on the program. Natalie Webster is from the Preschool Association of South Africa. You can visit them. Preschool Association, SA.
SA,
okay.
yes.
Preschoolassociationsa.co.za. Go visit the website and you'll be able to get some more information about this. Let's take a break. We'll